Hi guys, welcome to C Beauty. Today I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to do this look right here. It's just kind of a pretty everyday look that's also a little bit more bold. So keep watching and I hope you guys like it. Okay, so I'm going to start by priming my face, and I'm going to be using the Tarte Poreless Mattifying Primer. I have really oily skin, so this one works great just to keep the oil from breaking up my makeup throughout the day. Next, I'm going to go in and color correct my eyes. I have really dark under eye circles, so I use a color correcting concealer to conceal those dark circles. So I combine, this is the NYX color correcting palette, and I'm going to combine the yellow and the pink colors to help hide those dark circles. So now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and add my foundation. Right now I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Foundation, and I am shade 112 Natural Ivory. I love this foundation. I was kind of skeptical to try a drugstore foundation, but this one is really great. So I just use a big fluffy foundation brush. This is the Tarte Kabuki brush, I think. And I just pour the foundation on and then just dab it onto my skin and blend it in with the brush. Once that is on there, I'm going to go in with the Real Techniques blending sponge, and I'm just going to press that in to my skin and really smooth out and give a really airbrushed look. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and do some concealing. I use 3 different concealers because I'm crazy, but you want to use one concealer for spot concealing if you have some blemishes. I have a couple blemishes down on my chin, so I use a concealer that is true to my natural color, and then I use a concealer that is lighter than my natural color so I can highlight certain parts of my face. So the one that is true to my color is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Beige. I love Tarte Shape Tape, so I'm just going to use this and use the applicator it comes with. Just kind of place some dots on any blemishes you have, or just anything you want to conceal, or any spots where you want more coverage. So now I'm going to take my other concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair, so this one's lighter than my skin, and I'm going to use this one to highlight certain parts of my face. So I do a dot on my chin, a thin line down my nose, and then a dot on my forehead. And then, to help conceal my under eyes a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and use the Naked Skin in the shade Fair Neutral. And the reason I like this one instead of the Tarte Shape Tape for under my eyes is this one is a little bit lighter and it's not as heavy, but it's still full coverage. And I just feel like the Tarte Shape Tape under my eyes gets too heavy and cakey. So I'm just going to go ahead and place a few dots. And then I'll go ahead and blend all of that in with my blending sponge. So now the trick to under eyes is as soon as you blend in the concealer, you want to go ahead and you want to set it with a powder. Right now I'm using the Coty Airspun. You want to use a translucent powder. And so I just take this and I just tap some into the lid, and then I have just these mini Real Techniques blenders, and I just dip this in and I immediately set it with some powder so that it doesn't crease. Now normally at this step I would go ahead and do my eyebrows. I've already done my eyebrows to save some time. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of my face with powder. So I just go back to my bigger sponge, and I use that same Coty Airspun powder, and I dip the flat side of the sponge into the powder, and I just press that powder into my skin. Alright, and now I'm going to kind of let that powder kind of settle into my skin and absorb any excess oil. And while I do that, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes. So we're going to start by adding a primer to our eyes. I use the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly, and you can apply this with your fingers or with a brush. Lately I've been using a brush, but I normally just use my fingers. So you just dip the brush in the product and just apply it all over your eye. Perfect. So now I'm going to go ahead and use just another blending brush. I'm going to go back to my Coty Airspun powder and just set that primer with some powder so that I give my eyeshadow a really nice smooth base, and so my eyeshadow won't crease also. Alright, and for eyeshadow today, I will be using the Morphe 35O palette. I love Morphe palettes. They are so amazing, and they give you such a good amount of colors. So today I'm going to be doing more of an orangey look because I have blue eyes, and I find that orange eyeshadows make my eyes pop. So I'm going to start by using these two colors right here in the palette and combining those into my crease. So next, I'm going to go in with this next darker orange shade right here. So I just used these two, and now I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put that on top of my crease, and you'll make sure as you're blending in your crease, you're blending upward. So now we have those light orange colors in, we're going to go in with this kind of light brown orangish color, I can't talk, right here, and go in on top of those colors in the crease. But instead of blending this one up, we're going to keep it more concentrated in the crease to really define the crease. So now we're going to go ahead and do the outer corner, and I'm going to be using this dark brown color right here to really define the outer corner and make the eyes a little bit more bold. And then you're going to take the excess product on your brush and bring it down to your lower lash line. So now we're going to go ahead and add the shimmer onto the rest of the lid in this inner corner. So I'm going to be using this really foiled pink shimmery shade right here, and this is my favorite shade ever. So I'm going to start by using just like a flat blending brush, and I'm going to dip the brush into the product, and then I'm going to apply some setting spray to kind of make almost like a paste out of the eyeshadow. So I'm just using the e.l.f. setting spray for this. Spray the brush and go ahead, where's my mirror, and layer that on the inner part of the lid, and you want to make sure you get the inner corner really well because that's going to brighten your eyes. So as you can see, this eyeshadow is very pigmented, and so we want to make sure we blend it all in with our other eyeshadows so we don't have this distinct line between dark and light. So I'm going to take the original blending brush that we used in the crease and just blend the crease out again and make sure all these colors are blended together in the crease. And then take the brush we used on the outer corner and blend the shimmer and the dark brown together. Now that eyeshadow is done, we're going to go back to our face, and I'm going to take just a fluffy powder brush and wipe all the excess powder and any eyeshadow fallout off the face. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my contour. I'm using the Maybelline Master Bronze palette, so this has 3 contour shades and then a highlight, and this one is more of like a orangey bronzer. So I just kind of combine all 3 of the contour shades, and I go on my forehead, along my cheekbone, and on my chin, and blend down on my neck. So now I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose. I'm going to be using the same brush that I used in the crease of my eye, just this fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to dip it in this darkest contour shade right here. And I'm going to go up by my brow along the nose and then swoop back up. So next is blush. I'm going to use the Milani Powder Blush in the shade Tea Rose. And I just use the e.l.f. blush brush. And lastly, we're going to go in with highlight. And normally, I just use another one of the e.l.f. blush brushes for highlight, but lately I've been loving using a blending sponge for highlight. So I'm just using the highlight in this Master Blends palette. It's really pigmented and nice. I love it. So I just kind of pinch the blender and go into the highlight, and then I just apply it on the tops of my cheekbones. So you want to do contour, blush, highlight. And then with the excess amount of highlight on the sponge, I'm just going to go down the tip of my nose and on my cupid's bow. So now I'm going to go ahead and do eyeliner. I use the e.l.f. gel eyeliner. It's like $3 and it's amazing and it lasts forever. And I just use an angled brush to apply that. And then I go and I draw a light line on my lower lash line. So now I'm going to go ahead and apply my setting spray. And I apply my setting spray before my mascara because I find that if I apply setting spray after mascara, it makes my mascara run. So I'm going to be using the Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray. And then I'll go ahead and apply my Tarte Maneater mascara. And last but not least is lips. I just want a very light natural lip today, so I'm going to be using the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Creme Brulee. And there you go, that's everything. So this is the finished look. I'll put my hair down so you can get a better idea. It's just very light and natural and pretty, but yet bold enough so that you can wear it, you know, to school or work during the day, and then you can also wear it on a night out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and Facebook. It's C Beauty, and let me know what other tutorials you guys want to see. Thanks!